All right, I'm going to get started. I have no idea how many are out there because right now all it's showing me is Christian, but I am taping. So if anybody misses this, hopefully they'll be good enough that then they'll get an email from me telling you what's going on. So we are now into week 12, which means other than what was due on Friday, I'm going to erase this. All right. Last Friday, you had due those 3 programs from Unit 4, which were that mock form, for lack of better words, the original rock, paper, scissors game, and the currency converter. All right. Some of you turned in the balsamic and not the lab. Some of you turned in the labs and not the balsamic. Some of you turned in everything. Now, just so you know, because most everybody in the class today, not everybody, but most everybody in the class got an email from me. If you now have late work, meaning, like I said, you either you didn't turn in Unit 4 lab, or either of the balsamic assignments, or you turned in just part, all right, one or two of them, you got an email from me, just because I want you to know that you are behind. Now, a couple of you, and most people have gotten back to me right away, a couple of you had sent me invites earlier on, for GitHub, so I could see your stuff. I didn't realize those GitHubs, they must go away after a while, because when I tried to click on them this morning, they said they were no longer active. So I asked, I think 3 or 4 of you to resend me your projects over, and I think I got everybody's except Abby. I don't have yours. So if you could just send me another invite, I'd appreciate it. All right. As you can see here, then I've kind of updated this schedule a little bit. Today is going to be lab, and so is tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll work on this advanced resume app. Also on Friday, I will give you out part 2 of the project requirements. Part 1 is due Friday. Some people have already turned part 1 in. All right. And like I said, part 2 is due on Friday. All right. 1 week from tomorrow, not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, you're going to have your next hands-on test. And that will be basically based on units 4 and 5. Probably it's going to be just doing one problem, doing some styling, doing some theming, etc. with it. But I'm guessing, at least right now, I haven't written it yet, that it's only going to be one problem. All right. Then at the end of next week, remember, we don't meet Friday the 10th, so we don't have class a week from Friday. But next Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to go through chapter 9 or unit 9 of your book. We will do one more program, either that or I will give you one more program on that date, okay? And there will be a lab for it, but I'm not going to give you 3 of these anymore. That's just too much, I think, for you guys to handle. So there'll probably be 2, to be honest with you. And then at the end of next week, I'll give out part 3 of the project. Part 2 will be due, and I moved the Unit 5 lab, which was due at the end of this week. I moved it to the end of next week. All right, so you've got more time to work on it. Then when you come back, notice Unit 9, so those will basically be lab days. Then we'll go into Unit 10. We will do one more program as a class that will encompass using a database. All right, and somewhere in here, I don't even know if I've got it listed, but you will have a lab for Units 9 and 10. Probably it'll be on this, it's got Unit 10 lab here and Unit 9 lab here. All right, but by that time, that'll be the last assignment that you will get handed out to you. And then there'll be some lab time in here. And then finally, as you can see, on the 23rd, will be a hot for Units 9 and 10. I don't want to go any further than that. Most of it, you can see what's going on. All right. But the key thing is, for the rest of this week, the rest of the period after I get done talking will be lab. Tomorrow will be lab. I'm not even going to get on. I'll probably get online, but just to see if anybody has any questions. All right. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. What we're going to do with this advanced resume app that I'm working on right now, I'm going to give you about, I would guess, somewhere around half to 2/3 of the code, and the rest you're going to do. All right. It'll make more sense, I believe, when we get to that point. But I'm just more concerned that you realize if you haven't turned this stuff in, get it in as soon as possible. I want to be able to give you as many points as possible. All right. And the only thing then that will be due on Friday will be part 1 of the project. All right. Now I'm going to stop my share here and I'm going to start up a different share. All right. And I'm not sure, I think you can all see this. This is my code, but what I do want you to see from this, and I don't know if this will come up or not, but this is the emulator. And if the emulator is not coming up, I'd rather have you see the emulator right now. So again, I'll stop the share and I will start a new share just on that emulator. Okay, let's see. Let's not do that. There it is. Well, that's not it though. Do you guys see the Christian? Can you see the emulator on the screen?
No, I cannot.
Yes or no?
No.
No. All right. Then let me try it again. Now can you?
Yes.
Okay. This was that program that I was trying to get across to all of you in class. What you'll see now is it works. It's pretty simple. There is a recycler view in it. If you click anywhere in here, it'll bring up the information for that particular entry. All right. I think that's enough that you can figure out how it works. All right. I'm going to stop and give you one more share. And that is, let's see. If you key in what is shown on the screen right now, can you all see the HTTPS, GitHub, etc.? Can you see
Yes.
that?
Yes.
All right. If you key that in, I made that all that code that I just was showing you, or the example, all the code is in there. You can either clone it or you can copy it as a zip file. And you will have all of the code to get started. All right. And I want you to go and make a couple superficial changes to that file. All right. In other words, I want you to get used to starting to look at themes and working with colors, fonts, etc. But you'll have that file. And you can also use that if you want to as a template for the other one. All right. Where I asked you to kind of do your own. All right. Just a couple more things then. All right. The first thing is, just so you know, and again, I may be telling you something you've never seen before. I may not. I don't know. But I wanted to show you one more thing here. Well, and of course I can't find it now. I'll just keep up whatever's up there. It doesn't matter. But again, oh, I know what it is. I'm sorry. I know what it is. Let me just show it to you. Now, again, I don't mean to at all insult anybody's or intelligence, but you may know about this, you may not. What you should see on your screen right now is from that recycler view example. You should see the image of it up here that I'm making circles around. But just so you know, if you didn't, there is a tool that is called, it's not a tool, but it is one of the widgets that's called a Webview. And the reason that I'm telling you that is if you use the Webview, if you decide you want to do this, and you don't necessarily have to, but if you decide you want to, when you've got your screen coming up, and let's say you click on this and you bring up another screen, if you want to link to something that's on the internet, you can do that. You can create a web view and basically open up a browser window inside of the web view. All right, I'm not going to go over that right now, but the key takeaway from that is if you want to do that, all right, look it up online, because what it'll tell you is you have to go into the Android manifest.xml file, and for lack of better wordage, you've got to ask for permission to use the internet. That's what your app asks. It's literally just a line you have to add to your Android manifest.xml file. All right, I mean, I can Google it right now, but hopefully you get the idea as far as what I'm talking about. So last thing, if I can find it, because I didn't open it up ahead of time. That's the wrong one. All right. So again, I just want to make sure everybody knows we changed the date on this. Let's just say we'll make it 4/10, even though you're not meeting that day. All right. So your next assignment, as it says here, homework number 3, which it really isn't, it's homework number 4. All right. It's worth 150 points, and it'll be due by the end of the day, Friday, the 10th. Again, we don't meet that day because that day is the Good Friday observance. On that one, again, for problem 1, you've now been emailed all the files necessary for this program. But I want you to go in and basically pretty it up, for lack of better words. This is your chance to do stuff with styles, themes, etc. If you don't like the images I used, you can replace them, all right, as an example. So as it says, the program is finished. Now the errors have been removed. You don't have to fix the errors. But as mentioned here, you are to go out to this URL, read up on how to use Android Material Design. You don't have to fix my program errors. I already did. But I'd like you to add your own material design, colors, etc., your own styles, your own themes. That's the first program. That second program is to go back to the guessing game. For those of you who created the guessing game, if it did not work, you are to change it so it does work now. All right. Then I want you to create your own color theme. Feel free to, whatever, go nuts. Change fonts if you want, and do whatever it is you want to do. All right. Finally, for problem 3, as it says, using this first one as an example. All right. Create your own Java Android app called Original. This should be something that you've got an interest in. It should include a recycler view and 2 or more activities or screens. All right. And it says, well, now that it says tomorrow, Monday, it's going to be Monday and Tuesday, 3/31. Will all be lab periods. We'll begin the extended resume app. Now it'll be Wednesday, 4/1. all right, for the rest of the week. Okay, we'll see how that works as far as being able to use Zoom like this. I want to use Zoom because I've been having nothing but problems with Google Hangouts. All right, so unless there's any questions, again, I will post this. What I'm doing right now, I will go and post that up on, it'll be on the YouTube channel. Everyone will get an email as far as what's in this. Okay, but other than that, I'm here until everybody's dropped off. So come back tomorrow, all right? And I'll just, again, it'll be even shorter than this, but maybe 5 minutes. All right. Thank you. Chris, are you still there? Hello? I've already finished the video, and I'm just fixing it up right now, and it'll be out there on the system in about 10 minutes. All right, if anybody does take the time to watch all this, again, I've tried to fix this up. Again, there are 3 problems on this, just so you're aware of that. And they are, the first one, where you take this RV example that I gave you, and it's right there on GitHub, copy it, and either add your own styles, theme, etc., or go out to the material design site that I give you down here and use something they have out there. All right. Secondly, you're going to go out and redo the guessing game the same way. So you really shouldn't have to add any new code here or here unless your old guessing game didn't work. So for the 3 apps, for app 1, you should not have to add any code, any Java code, just XML. For problem 2, same thing. For problem 3, you're going to do it from scratch. And again, today and tomorrow will be lab all period. We'll begin working on this resume app on Wednesday. All right, I'm going to try to set it up for 40-minute chunks as necessary. These 3 programs are now due by 4 p.m. Friday, the 10th, the 10th of April, even though we don't meet that day. All right. And now that I'm looking at this, I really think that since I gave you the code for this, and I gave you the code for this, all right, then we'll take this one and make that one worth more points. All right. I'm going to take this, save it to the desktop right now. I think it's out there already, but I am anyway. And I'm going to email this to all of you right now. You'll get it in just a couple minutes. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.